Hey, I have to tell you something.
I'm on the phone, creep.
I realized that. And normally I'd be listening on the other line, but this is important.
Okay, what? Oh, get out!
Thank you for listening. Ugh.
Bring It On is a modern cult classic teen cheerleading sport comedy film that was a rather big hit when it was released in theaters in the year 2000. The film stars Kirsten Dunst as Torrance Shipman, a senior at Rancho Carn High School in San Diego, California. With her boyfriend Aaron away at college, she is the newly elected captain of her cheerleading squad, the Toros, who are aiming for a 6th consecutive national title. She is taking over from the former team captain, Big Red, played by Lindsay Sloan.
Let's meet your new leader, Torrance Shipman.
During her first practice as the new team captain, one of the teammates, Big Bad Carver, played by actress Bianca Kylik, is injured and forced to sit out for the rest of the season.
Don't you guys worry about me. It's just a scratch. I'll be back to practice tomorrow, so don't you guys fret, okay?
Torrance holds auditions for a replacement and winds up selecting Missy Pantone, played by Eliza Dushku. A skilled gymnast who is transferred from a school in Los Angeles, Missy lives with her twin brother Cliff, played by Jesse Bradford, who soon takes a liking to Torrance. Missy soon informs Torrance that the Toros have plagiarized cheer routines from a high school cheer team in Los Angeles.
I went out on a limb for you and you just bailed?
I'm not about stealing.
What are you talking about?
You ripped off those cheers.
Despite denying this, Missy takes Torrance to LA to watch the cheer routine from the East Compton Clovers, a squad that frequently competed with Missy's team during her time in Los Angeles. They meet the Clovers squad captain Isis, played by Gabrielle Union, who informs the two that the former Toros captain Big Red videotaped their cheers and stole them.
Ugly redhead with a video camera permanently attached to her hand. Y'all been coming up here for years trying to steal our routines.
As they leave the Compton High School, they narrowly avoid being fucking killed.
We just so almost got our asses kicked back there. I mean, I knew I'd seen those routines before. We used to play East Compton all the time.
With little time to learn new cheers before the regional competitions, the team decides to go ahead and proceed using the plagiarized cheers.
We learned that routine fair and square. We logged the man hours. Don't punish the squad for Big Red's mistake.
Isis and her teammates then travel to the San Diego High School and perform the entire routine in front of the whole school, humiliating the Toros. They soon learn the team's going to head to Daytona Beach, Florida for the Nationals competitions, but they must come up with a whole new cheerleading routine. Directed by Peyton Reed in his motion picture directorial debut, this movie was a rather big hit at the box office upon its release in August of 2000. It grossed over $90 million worldwide on a budget of only $11 million. Now, this movie was filmed from July to September of 1999, and casting for this film coincided with the casting of another film about cheerleaders called Sugar and Spice. Now, that film, which would be released in January 2001, 5 months after this movie, was about a cheerleading squad who decides to commit armed robbery to help one of their pregnant teammates. Kirsten Dunst originally turned down the role of Torrance Shipman for this movie, and Marley Shelton was the second choice. However, Marley Shelton decided to star in the movie Sugar and Spice instead. Actors Jason Schwartzman and James Franco both auditioned for the role of Cliff Pantone. Gabrielle Union stated that many of the Bring It On stars auditioned for and were hoping to get a role in Sugar and Spice, which was seen as a much more desirable movie project. In fact, they thought of Bring It On as the consolation prize you would get for not getting a role in Sugar and Spice. In the end, Bring It On was much more successful than Sugar and Spice. Both had an $11 million budget, but Sugar and Spice only brought in $16.9 million. Bring It On made over $90 million. Director Peyton Reed decided that all the actors should participate in a 4-week cheerleading camp. That way he could avoid having to use stunt doubles during the movie. I first saw this film upon its VHS release in the early spring of 2001, and I enjoyed the eye candy. I'm not gonna lie. I was always kind of into Kirsten Dunst, who was 18 when this movie came out, and she plays a very cute blonde cheerleader. But I gotta say, Eliza Dushku, who was about 19 or 20 during filming, is really sexy in this movie. And usually that whole wet hair look doesn't do anything for me, but ooh, it works on her in some of those scenes. And the little shuffle dance she does after putting on her cheerleader uniform for the first time, oh, that's really something else. I like that. And I will admit that as a teenage guy, I was not very interested in the plot of this film when I first saw it. I was more interested in the visual aesthetic quality of the motion picture. Overall, this is now considered somewhat of a cult classic, and most every millennial, especially those over 30 years of age, remember how big of a sleepover hit this movie was with teenage girls and concupiscent teenage guys. If you're in the mood for an early 2000s teen movie, check out Bring It On.